Hey everyone. So summer is almost here. And one thing that always happens for us around this time is, as kids are getting out of school, we have a lot of parents asking us questions like, hey, why are so many kids getting adjusted in here? How do I get my kid adjusted? What are the benefits of bringing my baby in and getting them checked, or my kids, and getting their spine aligned and healthy? And so we have a lot of events coming up during the summer, especially in June, to really help engage you and make it easy for you to get your kids in and start getting them adjusted. But one of the things that we wanted to talk about today, just for a few minutes, is some of the top reasons that we actually work on kids and babies for. If you're new to chiropractic, if you've never been in a clinic before, walking around, you may look around and think, man, there's a lot of kids getting adjusted for, pain or back problems. And the reality is there are lots of very important reasons for kids and babies to get adjusted, and most of them have nothing to do with back pain whatsoever. So what we're going to spend a few minutes going through with you guys are the top 5 reasons that we work on adjusting babies and kids in our office.
Yeah, the first one is spinal posture and to improve that. And I don't know if you've ever had your child where you're sitting there looking at them on their phone and they're bending forward.
Oh, yeah.
But I know I have, and I see a lot of people's kids out and about too as well. So most misalignments in our spine happen from birth. And in fact, research shows that 80 up to even 90% of all babies are born with spinal misalignments.
Yeah, it's a traumatic process.
Due to birth trauma, absolutely. And if it starts from birth, and then they're learning to try to latch on, to hold their head up, to sit, crawl, walk, run, climb trees, do everything, and they're out of balance or out of alignment, that affects their body's ability to be able to do those properly and actually develop properly and well aligned and balanced. So what we're kind of thinking about like this is with kids or with trees. So when you plant a tree, we're planting a few in our house right now, or outside our house. And when you put trees in, you put the stake down, you put the little ropes around it because you want to make sure that it grows tall and straight. It doesn't make any sense to try to do that to an adult tree and try to brace it and try to straighten it out.
Yeah, it's too late.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
So, yeah.
So we want to start at a young age because that's when kids are mobile. You know what I mean? When someone comes in who's 30 or 40 or 50 asking me, gosh, how do I reverse this? The reality is we can help get it better, but we can't reverse it all the way. So
Exactly.
The importance is starting at a young age gives you the potential to make your body that much healthier.
100%.
The next thing is neuroplasticity, and it sounds like a big confusing word. What neuroplasticity means is proper brain and neurological development. And so we don't want to have good posture just because it makes us look well aligned. The reality is your spine is a conduit for your body's nervous system. So the way that your brain communicates with your body and your body back to your brain is through our nervous system. And what we know is that misalignments in our spine from birth, it affects our brain's ability to communicate with our body and our body to our brain. So the primitive reflexes, things like body development, communication organs, language and speech patterning, learning, they're all dependent on a healthy spine allowing for proper development of these basic but very vital functions. And we know that misalignments in the spine can cause problems that we can actually see too. We can see kids who have colic or irritable baby syndrome, asthma or respiratory issues, sleeping problems, bedwetting, constipation, concentration issues are all problems from improper neurological development that results from either birthing traumas or falls, kids learning how to ride a bike or climb trees, or all of those things. And so from a young age, we want to make sure that not just the spine is healthy, but that allows our nervous system to function the way that it properly should.
Absolutely. And the third thing is really to strengthen and work on strengthening the immune system to reduce incidences of colds, ear infections, allergies, those sort of issues. We know the importance of spinal alignment and immune system health. We know that traumas to the spine, these misalignments, they are a stressor. And we know that those stressors can downregulate our immune system function. Can slow digestion down, affect absorption of nutrients, raise our blood pressure, and it affects our body's ability to handle those toxins and those allergens or viruses that we're exposed to. And we think about it, when we have misalignments, that's a stress that doesn't go away on its own.
Right.
I would love to give you an exercise or a stretch and say, hey, just do this, and that's going to take away all your subluxations. But the fact of the matter is there isn't. Chiropractic is really the only thing that we can do to help realign properly and specifically to allow the body to function and communicate on its own.
Yeah.
And when it does that, that helps create a stronger, healthier body that's more resistant and resilient to external things and factors that we come in contact with.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, technology too is not going anywhere. You know, we have smartphones now. Our dependence on technology, computers is higher than ever before, and that's translating to younger and younger generations. So it's not only that this problem is not going away, it's that I think as time goes on, it's only going to become more important to keep a healthy spine. I don't see anything in the next 20 years pulling us away from technology, unfortunately, unless we actively decide to do that. But the reality is just the importance of keeping a healthy spine, staying well adjusted. It's just becoming that much more important.
It's all that movement.
Yep, absolutely. Number 4 would be to help with proper behavioral development. And this is really important. Obviously, we both have kids growing up, and we know that, you know, helping kids develop important behavior patterns is really vital, not only for your sanity, but for them to communicate and, you know, mingle with society. And so the basic way to think about this is that our bodies have really 2 halves when it comes to our nervous system. So we have a sympathetic side, which is our fight or flight. That's our awake, alert side. And then we have another side that is called parasympathetic. That's our resting, digesting, healing side. And what we know is that postural stress, birthing traumas, spinal misalignments in kids, even emotional stress, which I think we've all experienced in the last year, what those do is they push our body into a sympathetic or heightened state. And the problem is since those issues don't just go away on their own until we correct them, what does a kid who's in a sympathetic state all the time look like? We see this. We see the kid who can't concentrate, the kid who's extremely hyperactive, who doesn't sleep well, who has digestive issues, who's getting sick often, who doesn't have consistent bowel movements and digestive function. They can even develop sensory or tactile issues like tics or repetitive behavior patterns. And the reality is that what we want to do when we work on adjusting kids, the same thing in adults, is we want to bring balance to the nervous system. We want a proper ebb and flow between sympathetic neurological function and parasympathetic neurological function, so that you sleep better, you rest better, you heal better, your blood pressure is better, your body functions at a better level, because those 2 halves have to work in a symbiotic relationship to allow your body to express health. Makes no difference whether you're 0 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 30, 40, or 50 years old. That network of neurological communication has to be balanced. The same way that we adjust adults to achieve that function is the same reason in kids that we work on them. But oftentimes there's different symptoms that people ping to that say, hey, I have a problem like this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think adults, we can recognize when we're stressed, you know, more so I say than others, but, and we have tools and resources and things that we can do or implement to help with that. Kids, they don't understand. They don't know when their bodies are stressed. They don't understand the emotional stress. You have kids that start acting out more, or their behavior changes and they're misbehaving, or they're causing more problems and hitting their brothers and sisters more often. That is signs that their bodies are stressed. And the problem is with kids is they don't have those same tools or the ability to cognitively think about, okay, how do I deal with this? How do I calm down? Adults, we have to help with that and things that we can do. But as he said, most importantly, it's actually working on balancing the actual underlying cause, which is the imbalance in the nervous system, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that kind of brings me to the final reason that we adjust kids is we want to help create and develop healthy adults. We get so many people coming and telling us after getting care for a while, they're like, man, I wish somebody would have told me this sooner, or I wish I would have started earlier, or when I was a kid, this would have been amazing because I had this and this and this issue. And the fact of the matter is now that we know and we have all the tools and resources, we can greater influence and shape our younger generations to be healthier than we ever were, because we can actually start applying this knowledge. You know, knowledge is power, but action is one of the biggest things to put that into place in order to utilize and be the best version that we can be of ourselves. And so in essence, we could virtually wipe away many of these developmental issues, cognitive issues, degenerative problems, things that plague us as adults. If we start early, we could actually we could actually prevent that from even occurring, or even slow it way down.
100%. 100%. So this is just a little preview for you guys. We wanted to engage with you as much as possible and really open this up as a dialogue so you guys can ask questions. We've got some amazing events in our office coming up for you. So first and foremost, the week of June 7th is our Friends and Family Week. So that's a time in our office where the entire week we're offering special discounts for your friends, for your family members to come in and get their spine checked and evaluated and start getting healthy themselves. During that week on June 8th, Dr. Marisa and myself are going to be hosting Align for Life, which is a workshop targeting at helping you understand what proper development looks like, really from pregnancy through birth, through infancy, through kids growing up. What are the common problems that we see in kids? How do we work on those things? How do we equip and empower you to raise a healthy family starting as early as possible? So we look forward to having you guys join us for that event. After the event as well, we'll be hosting a Q&A session. So if you have questions or have concerns, we'll be there and available to answer any of your questions that you have. This is a free workshop and it's open to the community. We want as many families there as possible and people there as possible engaged in our health, because we want to see this community change and be healthier. And so we need your help with that to help us reach as many people as possible. So thanks you guys so much. We'll see you guys soon.
See ya. Bye.
Have a great week.